What
Yo,
up, world? This your boy Jay Boogie,
yo, what up, world? What up, Ski? This your boy Kimbo.
and it's J and K press and play with our girl. Peace of mind. Say what's up.
What's going on, you guys? Happy to be on this evening.
What's up? Good to
Yeah,
have you.
we're
Yes,
happy to have
indeed.
we doing a little bit different. You know what I mean? Talking about some, some real things, some real stuff. Um, I wanna, I do like to talk about, me and my boy. We could talk about sports a whole lot, but you know what I'm saying. There's some real stuff going on out there. So you know what I mean. I had to bring peace of mind on to give us a piece of her mind. So y'all know how we do.
Yes,
Um,
indeed.
so with a crucial time coming up in the world. And I know me and my partner, we talked about this a whole lot, you know what I mean, voting and how, you know what I'm saying, if it's important, if it's not important, um, our views on it, you know what I mean? And I would like to, before I get into mine and you know what I mean, I want to ask our girl Lyric, like how she feel about it.
Whew. Voting. It's very imperative that we vote. And I'm gonna tell you a reason why. Right now, just recently, Arkansas just reinstated 4 voter suppression laws. So if you've been paying attention to what's been going on, there has been a lot of voter suppression bills being put in place in different states. For example, like I said, Arkansas, they put 4 back in the state. So you have Act 736, which pretty much established a new signature match requirement for mail-in ballots. So let's just say, you know how our signature changes a lot. So if your signatures do not match or even come near close, your ballot's getting thrown out. They're also shortening the absentee return period. So you know that extended period of time that you have to drop your absentee ballot off, they're cutting it short. If you don't have the proper ID, you have 6 days to go down to the county courts to show that you are eligible, that you who you are. You
That's not
know, hmm?
that's not enough time. It doesn't seem like it.
It's because it takes a long time to get in. A lot of when you go down to the county courthouse, you actually sometimes you have to make appointments, or you're going to be sitting there waiting. And the last thing is, if you're not in the line waiting to go in and vote, you can't be within 100 feet of the voting location. And that goes for volunteers who were like passing out water in the past to people who's been standing in line for a long time. Um, Louisiana, which is a predominantly black, state, they did this house map, which is pretty much racial gender mandering. So basically, what they're done, they put this map in place that divides up the district. And when they divide up the district, that's basically um, separating the blacks and the Latino votes. Because their votes combined are powerful. They could take over that one district. So what they're doing, they're splitting up the vote where predominantly the voters will be white so they can take over every district. So they're back and forth in court. So if you're an individual that say, oh, my vote ain't gonna matter, it doesn't matter if I vote or not. No, your vote does matter, because if your vote didn't matter, if the black vote didn't matter, they would not put all these suppression laws in place to keep us from voting. It's this white Republican. What's his name? Let me see. Hold on. His name is Perry. The guy name is Perry something. Last name starts with a W. But he said this like, I think this was like back around like 1980. He said, I don't want everybody to vote. As a matter of fact, our leverage in the election quite candidly goes up as voting populace go down. Basically, what he said, black people don't need to vote. We don't want everybody voting. We don't want black people to vote. So we're gonna put all these barriers in place to make it so difficult that they just say forget about voting. That's what they're doing. So I advise everybody to get out and vote because it's very imperative. Some of these elected officials that are in office, they need to go. Like your boy Abbott in Texas, he just pardoned a police officer that was convicted of murder. He just pardoned. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't the police officer. It was the guy that was in Texas. He drove his car through a Black Lives Matter march. He's, you know how they walked around the car or whatever. He said, "Oh, I shot him before he shot me." But the guy never had no gun. The guy ain't never point anything at him. So the whole pardon was like fabricated because in the pardon, Abbott pretty much said that it was self-defense, that the guy, you know, he was going to shoot. He wanted to shoot him before he got shot. So it was self-defense, but the guy never had a gun. The guy never pointed anything at him. But they pardoned this young man, this white guy who's a white fascist, who's a racist. Just as well as they pardoned the little 17-year-old who drove over a county during a march and opened fire on a whole bunch of protesters.
Man,
you know,
they pardon everybody who don't look like us.
Yes, anybody that's going against their agenda or what they're trying to do, or anybody that's against Black, brown, other than them, because they want to make America great again. America was never great.
Not for us, it wasn't.
Not for the Blacks.
No, it was never great.
No.
So yeah, get out and vote. Get registered.
Lord, girl, you said a mouthful. I'm still trying to take it in. Partner, what you got?
Yeah. Well, you already know my take on voting. I don't even care either way. I kind of got that mindset, like Lyric, was saying. Maybe I need to change that a little bit. I don't know, but I feel like, we should concentrate more on local. More on local, because a lot of times we get caught up in the drama. It's almost kind of like a soap opera, when it comes to the presidents. They get on their little debates and then they just going back and forth, and it just kind of sounds ridiculous at times. So, but we should concentrate on local. We should focus on our city councils, our mayors, judges, governors. I don't think it's a point in focusing on the president who's layers removed, to impact us on a, as a whole. So, if you got a president that you like, that you want to see in the office and you want to vote for, hey, have at it. But, for me, I'd rather more deal with a more local, immediate way of doing it. So that's my take on it.
Yeah, it's, of course, this is pros and cons. I definitely, I do vote. I have to be more mindful, like you just said, of the local city, the council and the judges and the things like that. But yeah, man, the people, the ones who don't vote, and I felt when it came time to vote either for Hillary or Trump, Hillary Clinton, I don't know what they call her by her first name, Hillary Clinton or Trump, I actually voted for Bernie Sanders.
Bernie.
Bernie. That particular one, I actually voted for Bernie. And of course she didn't win the heat. And later as I for whatever reason I posted about it. And of course I got, a whole bunch of I don't want to say I got a whole bunch of hate, but it definitely wasn't a whole bunch of likes on what I've done. You know what I'm saying? And I definitely regretted it. But she had made me mad with the whole when she went on Breakfast Club with the hot sauce in the bag thing. I'm like, man, don't
that's
like, don't do that. But then at the same time, what I pretty much got in return was make America great again. And it just so, like you said, America was never great for us. So all the black people with the MAGA hats on, is so disheartening and so hurtful.
Yeah.
And the one celebrity who was, going, hugging this dude all on TV and calling him his dad, I can't even fault him because we all know who I'm talking about, and we all know why I feel he was doing it. I don't think he
Yeah.
was right. I don't think he was right. You know what I'm saying? If you catch my drift, I don't think he was right. You know, but uh, I definitely don't want to go down that road again. I do not want to go down that road again, and it's so disheartening again when our brown brothers and sisters
Mm.
are so in bed with this man. And like what? And I wish I had the knowledge of a Roland Martin. I wish I had the knowledge of Tiffany Cross and Angela Rye and Andrew Gillum and people of those of that stature, to run down all of the facts. But like I just named them, go watch them. There are facts that man did not do everything that his cabinet said that he did.
Mm.
So I mean, of course, there's always going to be Republican, Democrat. I want to pose a question that we just, black folk, our vote does count, but our voices are almost always never heard. But then when it comes time for a president to be elected, then you want to pander to us, like
Mm.
like her, like they speaking to everybody else. Just hold on, y'all. Just wait a minute. Oh, but we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that. No. Oh, yeah, hold on, black folks. Yeah, y'all just hold on real quick. We coming to get y'all.
Mm.
And then it's a a crumb here and a crumb there. So I'm posed like, why don't we just take off elsewhere? Why don't we just because it's a bunch of Democrat, Republican, yada yada yada. Independent is one of them. Why don't we just go independent? We just pick somebody who we like, vote that person independent. I know we won't win, but at
Mm.
least our voice will be heard. At least then, when they see we're not gonna go for your bullshit, we're not gonna go for your bull crap. We gonna pick somebody who we want, who we know who gonna represent us right, and we just go from there. But that's just me. I don't.
I mean, I know I heard a lot of podcasters, like Roland, all those that was pretty much saying something of the nature like if all the black people get together and you create your own party, like you said, and you select someone that is you think can handle the job and push all our power because we're powerful as one.
Yeah.
If you look at the money that's spent in the economy, it's not probably it's majority black people. So
Right.
just say all that voting power, all those black people have our own party, and you have that one person that we want to put to run. That's a lot compared to what everybody else will have because now they actually has to compete. And so, like you said, we all need to vote, but start on the local level, like Kennedy said as well, like you both said, because
Yeah.
that's where it starts at. And not only when we put these people in office, we got to be on their neck because the promises that they were making, we got to make sure that they do them and not just do it just to get the vote. And then just because they had the power, they do whatever they want. Nah, you got to make sure they said, oh, well, in your election, when you came to us, you said you was going to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Okay, so let me see the call of actions. What's
Yeah.
the steps to get this stuff done? And we can go in and sit in on these meetings and stuff like that because it's open to the public. They can't push you out.
At least they're not supposed to push you
No, they're not supposed to. Yeah.
out. So yeah,
Yeah.
man. It's of course on this topic we can go on and on.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so let's see. Next topic. Okay, kind of piggybacking off of that. Let's just say, and I don't want to be the gloomy Gus, But let's just say we pick somebody. And we know with our people, this is going on time and time and time and time and time again. Lyric, have you ever, did you see Judas and the Black Messiah?
Who? I can't
I was
hear.
Judas and the Black Messiah?
No, I haven't seen that one.
Oh,
I
man.
was just thinking that, Jay.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
so of course it was the movie about Fred Hampton and the black guy who set him up.
Correct.
And also along the same lines, Queen and Slim. I know you see Queen and Slim, right?
Mm-hmm.
You remember at the end of the movie how they got caught?
Yeah.
And once they died, you remember when they scanned back the old buddy, what was he doing? He was counting. He was counting
the money. He pretty much got paid out. Yeah.
Yeah. Counting the money. Yeah.
When it comes to us, for whatever reason, and this generation, what I'm trying to get to is the money over morals.
Mm-hmm.
Recently, and I sent both of y'all. I don't want to say the young lady's name. She said that she doesn't have morals, but she got money. But she's rich.
Why you can't say her name? Her name already out there. Her name already out there.
It's out there, but then at the same time,
It's already out. It's out there.
I don't want to see we doing it for click. We're doing it for click.
Oh,
we're not trying to make it like clickbait or anything like that.
Okay.
Right.
Gotcha.
So, but one of my favorite rappers, man, my dude, 3 Stacks, he said, "Wealth is the word. Rich is around the corner from the curb. Don't like what I write, shoot me a bird." So it's like all these people, they so happy about being rich when you should be chasing after wealth. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, I'm not what I preach to the kids. Like, you know what I'm saying? I be telling them, man, it's a certain amount of time that you should work for your money. But then after you work for your money, it's a certain amount of time that your money should be working for you.
Correct.
So, like, all of this, they flashing the money and all of this here, and it's just like, okay, you got a little bit of gold in your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you got a little bit of money you can flash, but what are you really doing with it? Who you blessing with it?
That's the question.
And for you to say that you don't have morals, but you got money, it's what you are saying that it's only one place that you're going.
Yeah.
You pretty much done sold yourself, or you are selling yourself for that money. And what does the word say? You know what? I cut myself off. What does the word of God say?
The love of money
is the
love of money.
The love of money. So don't get me wrong. Like Scarface said, money and the power. There's power with money.
Mm-hmm.
Money is also a necessity.
Yeah.
Our Maker came so we can have life and have it more abundantly. Mm-hmm. So hopefully this is what we're doing. I love what we're doing, but if we can get paid for it, hey, I've been said that. There, you've been a friend of the family for a long time, dog. I know him. I've been knowing him since his Watkins. And
yeah.
But the thing, we had this conversation. I don't want money to come between nothing that we have.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I think looking at that, so when she says she don't have any morals, she has money. So it's a lot you take for that. Number one, you'll backstab somebody to get some money. You'll set somebody up to get some money. I can't trust you. If you don't have morals but you have millions, I can't trust you. I can't even trust to be around you.
Right.
I'm gonna want to have my strap on me when you in my vicinity.
The strap.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You can't trust a person like that.
Right.
You know? So that's that. And like you said, they say they have money, they flashing, they doing all this. Cool, no problem. So, like you said, well, how are you making that money? Don't last. It's only temporary. So, how are you making that money make more money for you?
Right.
You going out here and buying 5, 6, 7 different cars. You can't drive all them cars at the same time.
Right.
Right. Right.
What type of life insurance policy do you have? What type of stocks do you have? Do you have kids? Do you have money put up for your kids' education? Is your child going to school? Do you have property? Like, how are you flipping that money? Because again, it's temporary money.
It's all temporary. Yeah.
That money, you worked hard to get that money, but God can make that money go right through your hands like water. So how are you giving back to the community? How are you sowing seeds into other people's life? How are you helping other people? Because you know the struggle that it took you to get where you got. So how are you helping somebody else come up? Or is it just about me? Is it about you? Just about you because you got money. Now, another thing comes with flashing money on the internet. You setting yourself up.
Mm-hmm.
You setting yourself up to get robbed or killed. And it has been proven. It has been proven. I've seen 2 of the top jewelers that are well known. Celebrities go to them. You're in location with your jewelry on, dice game. Ain't nowhere in the world you should be anywhere without no security. With all that on there, when everybody know who you are. Everybody know what you got.
Right.
There's no way when you reach a certain status, there's no way you should still be living in the same neighborhood that you grew up in. There's no way you still should be hanging around the same people you've been hanging around with before you got to where you are. Because everybody is not made to go on your journey.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Nope.
I can tell you right now, and y'all probably know who it is. Played football, went down here to school, and got robbed. He was down. He went to Suncoast.
Oh, you talking about?
Say he was down. He got robbed. Like, people got to understand, when you leave your city and people see you, they see dollar signs. Everybody may not still see you as your homeboy or whatever, because now you got money. You can't go back. I remember I was reading the articles on the young artists, female artist. I think Lil Uzi Vert had just signed her. I forget what car she had, but it was a nice, lavish car. And a night or 2 nights before she got shot, she was on there flashing money. Some guys hopped out on her at a red light and pulled out on her. I don't know if they were trying to rob her or not, but she pulled out the gun. She shot. They shot. She got the short end of the stick. So again, when you're getting this money, it's not for you to flaunt it. It's okay to buy yourself lavish stuff because you work hard to get where you got or what you got, but you don't need to air it all out on the media. You know what I'm saying? If you're doing something good for the community, that's awesome. If you feeding the homeless, that's amazing. If you're giving free, if you're paying for students' tuition who family can't afford it, awesome. But you don't have to flaunt your cash on there just to let people know you got cash. That's just my opinion. I mean, it's just like you win the lottery. I always say, like, if I won the lottery, you know what I'm saying? I got investments, all that stuff. But if I won the lottery, nobody would never know. I'm still driving my 2007 Nissan Maxima with 200-some thousand miles on it. I'm not finna go buy no lavish clothes. I'm still chill. That's all I'm doing. And I'm still working to make that money make more money.
Yeah.
I'm not just gonna be out here spending credit. I'm cheap. I'm frivolous. You know what I'm saying? And keep it like that. You keep people out. You keep people out to keep them out. Yeah. You gotta let everybody know everything, what you're doing, what you got going on.
Yeah. I always gotta kind of take it to a religious standpoint, man. And, because morals is important. Your integrity, your values, all of that. And if you worship money, Like it says, if you worship money, you ain't entering that kingdom. You
Right.
ain't in. It's either you're worshiping the money or you worshiping our Savior. That's it. There ain't no gray area in that. So, I mean, I hate to say it. Now, I don't know what people's personal lives and what they do in the industry. They might be satanic, might be devil worshippers. You know, I don't know, but it sounds to me, if you hold money at that high of a standard like that, yeah, you might worship the enemy. That's what the young generation say, right? So so that means that, like Larry said, you holding yourself to a standard to where you probably would do anything for that dollar, right? Like you said, you might go out there and do some harm to somebody. Hell, you might even harm a family member. You might harm yourself. You
Mm-hmm.
know, but you don't look at it that way because you're just so caught up in chasing the money. You know, so the only real way you're gonna really know how much damage you've done is when you kind of go forward and then you kind of look back, or when you went so deep to where you like, damn, you know, I don't want to do this no more. You know, I'm ready to get out. But at that point, it might be too late. Now, I would say never say never.
Right.
You know, it ain't never too late to change your life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and find our Savior, and you know, and shake yourself free. You know, from the devil, from Satan. So I always don't. You know, I always tell little kids, don't. Always keep your morals, your standard, your integrity, everything. Just keep that at a high level, because at the end of the day, there ain't no dollar value, you know, that could replace that. So you can have all the money in the world, that won't mean nothing. You may still feel like crap, you know.
Yeah.
So money don't solve everything. I'll say that. So
Yeah, boy. Because it's funny, man. Because you know, like I was telling you, I work with the you know what I'm saying, with the kids, and I mean ISS.
mhm.
So little dude not supposed to have his Chromebook, not supposed to have his phone, and I know he got it. I got kids on my own. I know when they learn. So I mean, buddy looked me right in my face. I ain't got my phone. I ain't
Yeah.
got my phone. But I'm like, but every time he hear my chair making noise, he looking back. He see me get up. He'll sit up. And you know what I'm saying? He'll come from like this, sit up,
Yeah.
do like that. So like,
Mhm.
I had to tell him, a person that'll lie to you in your face and believe it's the truth, a person will steal from you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If a person gonna steal from you, he gonna doggone show kill you.
Yeah.
So it's y'all gotta, and then y'all be quick to say on God. Y'all be on God, on God this, on God that. Will be lying your little ain't innocence off.
Mm-hmm.
Lying your little tails off.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you want to take everybody take this other saying. I stand on business. Oh, you standing on business? I ain't standing on the doggone.
Mm-hmm. For real.
You're standing on your own 2 feet, but talking
Yeah.
about you standing on business. But man, yeah, man, it's it's crazy. And real quick, off of off of this thing with no morals. I saw something else which made me sad. This one, it was a young lady. She was taking some heat because she said that no, it was allegedly she was sleeping with the dude that shot her brother. Talking about I don't owe my brother, I don't owe him no loyalty.
Wow.
So, and apparently don't quote me, but I think her brother was in a rival gang of the guy. So yeah, this man, look, this generation,
Wow.
yeah, it's a son of a gun.
I see. I think what it is too, like with this new music that's coming, like some of this new age music, they listening to this music. So, you know, you be seeing a lot of videos and they be talking and they be like, oh, I'm on demon time. I'm on demon time. And I'm like, dude, like demon time finna get you life in prison. You want to be on demon time? Like y'all listening to these artists, and half of what I found, like some artists, they may live the stuff that they speak, but some of them don't live the stuff that they speak. So they really can't. These kids can't sit here and believe everything that they see on social media and believe everything that they hear in music unless they've done their due diligence, and that's the problem. And the piggyback off of you when you said the girl slept with the guy that shot her brother, this young lady, because this young lady was talking to this young guy. He was texting another female in his phone. She got mad at him, told her brother that the dude beat her up. She put bruises on herself and everything. Her brother's done went and killed the boy. And her brother doing time right now. And she was on social media bragging about the job. Just bragging. So this little generation coming up, it's like, I don't know. It's no hope for a lot of them because the mindset that they're in, nah, they may not survive. Some of them may not live to graduate because of how their mindset are. Some of them, you have some that are doing what they need to do and being around what they need to be around, the positive influence, and but you ask yourself, how as an educator working with kids, you got to see how you're not going to reach everybody. Put it like that. You're not going to be able to help all of them.
That's the hardest. That's the hardest.
You can try, but you're just not going to reach. So you just got to pray for this generation. You just got to pray for them.
Yeah, you got to pray for them. But I will say, I mean, who's to really blame for that? The parents?
It starts at home.
It starts in the house. So, I could always go back to my household, when I was young coming up. Now my father, he was kind of mellow. He didn't really, but my mother, nah, she did not play. I'm telling you now, she did not play the radio, the flute, nothing. Anything I did wrong, I was going to get it. So, and I'm not saying that that's the answer.
Yeah.
But I think that helps, to some degree. Because at the end of the day, you got to have fear, of some sort. Yeah. That's just like how everybody just talking about, God and what I keep saying, God. Yeah. I got to get my mind into saying that. Everyone keeps talking about because they don't fear God. Yeah. They don't fear him because for whatever reason, they just don't think that they're going to, be disciplined in any kind of way that is, they just thinking of the moment. They're not thinking of any outcome or anything that's going to happen down the road. So when you got that fear in you, you're probably going to be a little bit more reluctant to, doing things. You're probably going to be like, you know what? Maybe I ain't going to do that because I know when I get home, if my mom or my father finds out, I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it. So yeah, man, that it starts in the house. It starts in the house. Not, I hate to say it because, I'm kind of part of that generation. I mean, I don't have any kids, but Jason, myself, we're part of that generation, right? That community. So maybe we kind of failed them, to some degree. I don't know. Because they definitely lost. They lost. They need guidance. They letting the world kind of dictate how their kids, turn out, what they become. Yeah. So when it should start in the house. So all the parents, man, hey, I know some of them kids probably might, threaten you, but calling
CPS.
Yeah, calling them folks on them. But hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta do what you gotta do to discipline them, man. You got to discipline them. So yeah, man, that's my little take on that. So
yeah, even the words say spell the rod, spoil the child.
Yeah.
And just like, every christening I went to, the pastor always said it takes a village to raise a child.
Mm-hmm.
And if it takes a village to raise a child, I mean, if you look around, it also takes a village to send that child to hell too, because everything that's around these children is pretty much pointing them in the wrong direction.
Right.
They take God out of schools, they take prayer out of schools,
Yeah.
but then you know what I'm saying. Look at all the stuff they're bringing into the schools.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying the schools, the quote unquote prison, school to prison pipeline.
Yeah.
Right.
But you know, let me back up off that a little bit. Let me back up off that. And speaking of, you know, the whole, you know, spiritual thing, you know, not trying to get a little preachy, everybody, not trying to get a little preachy, but I caught something from Kel, from Keenan and Kel, you know, Kel from Good Burger. I caught something from his little snippet from his interview with old Unc Shay Shay. It was very, very real. He said that he had it was something like an exorcism.
Mm-hmm.
That the demon that was, you know, that was prayed into him had to get prayed out of him. And, you know, somebody might be saying, like, what you mean pray into him? Yes. A demon can be prayed into you. Just like we pray to, how my boy say, we pray to Yah.
Mm-hmm.
Yahweh.
You can pray to the enemy. You can pray to Satan.
To the enemy as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, so yeah, he was like, he had to forgive the young lady who did it. And it was like, of course, you know, I was at work when I was listening to it, and I wish I had a chance to, you know, get freshened up on it. But it was just a little bit that I do remember.
Mm-hmm.
It was like it was very, very, very real. It hit.
Yeah.
Like this stuff is real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This stuff
The ones that needed to hear it. Yeah. The ones that needed to hear it.
To anything, even move it. You talking about me watching the movie The Exorcist? No, because I know that's real. Stuff get prayed into. Y'all, I don't know if y'all remember, and I'm sorry, they were a great rap group back in the day. Bone Thugs and Harmony. Y'all remember?
Oh, who can't? Who don't?
Y'all remember?
You know, that's our generation. Yeah. Then, so yeah.
So y'all remember the CDs? You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, the little pamphlet thing that came with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all remember it being a little wording on it that was backwards?
Yeah.
That you had to put up to the mirror and read.
To read it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, and I'll be doggone. I didn't know how to read it, but I was like, "Why is this backwards?" And of course, I went to, you know, one of my elders, might have been my mom or somebody. They was like, "Oh well, see, you got to put it up to the mirror to read it, but don't you do that?" And I'm like, "Why?" Because back in olden days, that's how people put spells on.
Yeah, like you inviting them in. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You put it up to the mirror, and while you read it, just not even knowing what you're doing,
not realizing. Yeah.
And it was just like, so, you know, I kind of, even though I did still listen to the music, I was just more mindful about, you know, what I did and, you know what I'm saying, stuff I listened to. But yeah, man, with that whole thing, man, I invite anybody, of course. I want y'all to listen to me, my show as well. But it was very impactful. Go check that out.
Yeah. So you gonna go or you want?
No, I guess I'll go out. I will say, yeah, those type of almost kind of testimonies are necessary because at the end of the day, we're in a spiritual tug of war, like we're in a spiritual battle. The devil, Satan, is pulling us one way, and our Savior and Yah is pulling us another way. So it's just a matter of, you know, who's influencing you, you know, more. So the devil, Satan, is very sneaky. He don't have to come to you in the like the red and the horns and all of that. Nah. He comes to you like in the physical form of a person, someone that you might really love, you know. See, when Satan knows your weaknesses, he'll exploit them. You know what I mean? So when you're weak for somebody or something, yeah, he can use that to his advantage. That's why they always say, you know, it's good to pray. You know, a lot of people don't really like praying, but you have to. Yeah. It's necessary. You know, it's necessary to pray. You want to have that relationship, you know, with Yah at the end of the day. So, and not only when you feel it's necessary for you, you know, not when you're in a bind, you know, you got something coming up, you know, let me just put in a good word real quick. Nah, it may not get answered.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm telling you now, it may not get answered. That's just like somebody who you might know come to you asking for, you know, something, and you be like, well, damn, I ain't heard from you in like, you know, like years. And you just out of the blue. Nah, but then again, because you might be a good person, you might say okay, and you might just try to help them out. But you know, but yeah, so but yeah, we're in a constant battle, man. So we need to like I say, we need to pray and like I say, have that relationship, man. It's everything. Yeah. I know people don't really see it that way, but it's everything. We are spiritual beings, you know. Right. I know you kind of look at us, you know, each other in the physical form because you know we got the whole body thing, but we're really of the spirit, you know, in physical form. So so that whole Kel situation, yeah, that's very real, and only select people. Maybe, you know, only select people probably can even experience that, you know, not knowing. So it's kind of like a gift and a curse, you know, kind of sort of. Yeah. You know, a special person can maybe see things and maybe feel things, and now you can grow discernment in yourself and get you know, and get a little bit better with your, you know, on your spiritual side, and you can maybe get to that level too. But yeah, some people have that. And, you know, some people don't. So that's why the ones that don't, that's why they don't believe in Yah and don't believe in nothing. They just believe in just what's in front of them.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So, but yeah, just figuring off y'all, the exorcism, Kel's experience. Yeah. Like you said, people that don't have a physical relationship, don't have their own personal relationship with Yah, then they cannot attest to something that may not seem real, because what I've learned, when a person hasn't gone through something, I mean really going through something, they're not going to be, you can't really, you can hear, they may hear a person's testimony and be like, okay, well, you know, it may be a little bit interesting, maybe they own to something, but when it happens to them or somewhere close to home, it's kind of like you have to make them a believer. His experience with the young lady that he had to forgive because of what he had went through, that's why they say don't let everybody pray for you, don't let everybody put their hands on you, be mindful of the places that you go because of the atmosphere. For example, like when you have that spiritual life and you have your personal relationship with y'all, and your discernment allows you, when you have those relationships, you have that discernment. You start to develop a discernment, and the discernment will remove you from places where you need to be removed for. I can recall I was supposed to go out one night to a while ago to support a promoter, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go. I kept lagging around. I was like, nah. Eventually, I was like, nah, I ain't going. That night, a shootout happened at that same location. You should be able to walk in the room and you feel dark areas. If you feel a dark area, you know something is about to happen. You need to remove yourself. Um, but back to with the whole relationship of discernment and the exorcism with Kells. I know when you go over to like countries like certain parts of Mexico, certain parts of Cuba, certain parts of Africa, if you're not spiritually inclined, you could come back with a lot of demons on you.
Yeah.
You could come back with a lot of demons on you. So I know a lot of times when uh a lot of times when you have these individuals that go on mission trips from churches and stuff, I know our pastor, he had went over to, was it in Cuba or Africa, wherever they went, it was in another country. And he told us the story that he was going over there, they were going over there to preach and everything. I want to say it was Cuba or Africa. I can't remember which one. They went a couple of places. But he had guards around him. They were transporting him, and they ended up going off course in a different direction. One of the people, I don't know if it was like one of the kings and one of the king over the area, one of the kings and one of those empires over there, they had set a hit to kill him. But because they were aware of this before, they were able to move him out the way in time enough, before anything could happen. And he said a couple of weeks or months later, that same king was overthrown. He was killed. He was beheaded. They came in, whoever it was, another tribe or whatever, they came in and took over his empire and stuff. So that stuff is when you go over to these other, you have to be spiritually inclined. Because, certain places they worship the mermaid, and the actual mermaid comes out the water and they throw, how like they say you give your last fruits, give your first fruits, literally throwing money at this mermaid that comes out the water. A lot of people don't believe that there's an underworld. Mermaids in certain countries are real. Yeah. Like it's an actual physical being. All this stuff is real. A lot of people don't believe in this spiritual wickedness and everything. They're so naive about it. But if you go and do your due diligence, you will see how real it is. If they had a spiritual life, they would see how real this stuff is. And like you said, it's a tussle every day between evil and good. You're tussling every day. You're fighting to stay on that good side, to stay positive. You may want to snap on somebody and then you calm it down and come at it a different way. So, you got to have your own personal relationship. You have to pray over your family, over your house. Pray every day you go out.
Every day.
Wherever you go, Psalms 91. Pray that over you before you leave the house, when you come in the house, over your family. That protection. But yeah.
Hey, like how much say we got to pray just to make it today.
That was MC Hammer.
But it's with you, boy, we this thing, I know this thing had to be this had to be we had to do this tonight because you just said family, pray over your family. And just like we have to pray over our family, there's people praying on our family. And I'm speaking of these. And you don't want to say pedophile, but that's pretty much what it is, though. Because if you 52 or 65, and my child is the tender age of 21, 22. I don't care how much money you got. I just might be going to jail. I don't.
Wait, pause. Now, is that for if you had a female, a daughter, or a son?
Either or.
Okay. It's a double. It's a double standard.
It is a double standard.
And that's the thing. It is a double standard because, and it was sad. So, like I say, I work with kids, and of course, there are other adults there. And it came up about a certain philanthropist and model's daughter. Like I said, I don't want to use I'm not trying to do no clickbait.
Right.
Daughter is 21, 22.
Mm-hmm.
The man who she was seeing is 65. Allegedly. And and this my coworker, black lady, she was like, yeah, she trying to get that money set up. Yeah, she trying to get that money set up. She want to be right for the future. And I'm like, I'm like, not if it was my daughter. Like,
Right.
okay, that's prostitution. That's hell. If you think about it, that's human trafficking. Like I'm so not that person. That's why when I am, especially when I see black and brown people involved in human trafficking, dog, we shouldn't we be past that by now? Then that ain't that what happened to us? But see, they don't want to teach. They don't want to teach that.
Yeah, they don't talk about that.
They erase that. Every time February come around, we learn about, Martin Luther King. We might learn about
same old stuff. Yeah.
Harriet Tubman. Few and far between. We talk about the latter part of Malcolm X. We don't talk about the early Malcolm X.
Right.
And we might at Rosa Parks. That's it.
I mean, I don't really personally have a say so in that because I don't have any kids. I don't have no sons. I don't have no daughters. So of course I'm probably gonna be looking at it through a different lens. But
Okay.
but I feel like once you reach adulthood, which is what, 21, now, I mean, you got the right to do whatever you pretty much want to do. Now, I know the parents of some of these young sons and daughters, of course, they're gonna be opposed of it. They're not gonna like it very much. But like I said, once you've grown, especially if you're living on your own, now if you're living underneath your parents, roof, and you're living in their house, then that's one thing. But if you got your own place, you making your own money, providing for yourself, and you're doing your own thing, I guess technically you could do what you want. But I don't know about I think it should be a age barrier, kind of, sort of. I think 30, 40 years, that's a bit much, that's a bit extreme. Yeah, that's a bit extreme.
Yeah.
But 10, 15 is not bad. 20, 20 might be, that could be too. But yeah, but I just look at it like, as long as if you both care for each other, you both care about your well-being and health, life, and everything, and that's someone you could probably see yourself with, as far as like long-term marriage, future, then I guess it's okay. But then a lot of people got ulterior motives. Like you said, if you got money and you got a young person, they probably just looking at you for your money. So it may not be genuine. So a lot of times you gotta, I guess you gotta take that in consideration too. Just make sure that it's real. So.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like what KG, but then and again, it's kind of like, yes, at 21 they're grown. Do whatever you want to do. Of course, you may have parents that may have something to say, especially if they about they age. They'll be like,
Right.
You're my age. What you can do for my child? And then also I look at, okay, they 21. At what point did you start talking to them? When did you start talking to them? How long y'all been knowing each other? Because if you've been knowing them for 3-4 years, that means you was already talking to them at 17 or 18. So
underage.
You was underage. So then I would have a problem with that scenario, because then you were pretty much a pedophile. You messing with my child 17, 18. They ain't grown yet. They still sitting under that house that you pay the bills and they get stuff for you, you know. But if they out the household, got their own stuff, that's a whole different thing. The thing is, the parent don't want to push that child away. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to push that child away. And then let's say you have this person, if it's a male with a female, older male with a female, let's say this person is abusive and you don't push your child away and now she's secluded and you don't know what's going on with your child. You know, so it's a lot of different ways to look at it. There is a double standard. You know, when it comes to women, it's okay for the men, but it's a problem when you have them. I know you was talking about the models that's dating the football player, got kids from the football player, and they're making a whole shebang about it. This dude is grown. Yeah. He's grown. If he want to be with her, be with her. She had her own money before she got with him, so you know it's not necessarily about the money. So, and then like you said, the intentions. A lot of people. You have the young ones that get with these old ones. Oh, they got money. I'm gonna milk them. Oh, this. They bought me this. Okay, my thing is, okay, let's say your intentions are to be with this person because they got money. Now, what if they want to up and leave? They find somebody else. If you out here just spending this money and you ain't got no money, you back to square one. At least if you going after them and being with them because of the money, make sure you putting that money up and stop spending everything. You got your little allowance, he give you a little $1,000 every week. Put that money up.
Yeah.
Put that money up. Let them continue to buy you food and everything like that. If you're gonna do it like, I'm just saying, if you're gonna do it like that, don't just be with the person. If your intention is to get this money or get this, get a car, get this, okay, you can get that. But where's your cushion? Where's the money that you're gonna put up since that's what you're doing? Because eventually he's just gonna find somebody else.
More than likely. Yeah.
If you're not getting married, if he's not marrying you, he's gonna find somebody else if he not already have somebody else.
Yeah.
Simple as that. So, you know, my point on it is kind of iffy. It just depends.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you know, I'm glad I brought it up. You know, I can see where y'all, you know what I'm saying? I can see y'all point of view as well. But it's just funny, you know, I think because you really, to me, we couldn't wait to get 21 because we couldn't wait to drink. 21 is the legal drinking age.
Yeah, that's a drinking age. Yeah.
But you really can't run a car until you're 25. Your brain isn't fully developed until 25. So I say that you ain't grown until you're 25.
You're 25?
Yeah, that's what I say. But of course, you know, it's when you're black, boy, as soon as you walk across that stage, you out mama them house.
You out of the nest.
Yeah, you grown. So it's just I just think it's, you know, like you say, them upper double digit years, 20, 30, 40, that them years, you somebody grandchild, you somebody granddaddy humping on my child. I don't think I can do that, man.
Yeah.
Whether it be man or woman. But as we close this thing out, on the lighter side of things, I don't know. I know we kind of late on this little rap beef. I finally listened to all the songs in its entirety. It was pretty much an album, 40-something minutes. I didn't want to get into it, but I am somewhat of a Kendrick Lamar fan. It was like this man's goal was he didn't just want to battle Drake. He wanted to ruin this dude.
On the bury. Yeah.
I think it was at least 4 or maybe 5 songs to 2. I'm kind of saddened by it because, you know, it all started from dudes actually bigging up Kendrick with the big 3. And he was like, no, it's a big me. And then he just lit Drake on fire. But honestly, you know, everybody say Kendrick Lamar won, but the person who won to me was J. Cole. And it was not because whatever he might have said said to Kendrick, against Kendrick, or whatever the case may be. It was the fact that it didn't sit right with him. He was the bigger man to back out, and he gave props to all of the dudes. You know what I'm saying? And he just wanted our homegirl. He just wanted his peace of mind. And I applaud that. It's like we got to get on our grown man and grown woman stuff, and the fact that it's always us beefing with each other, battling with each other, and then we throw these low blows. And Drake said that they put something out there just to see if Kendrick was gonna bite, and he bit. And who knows, bro? Who knows? But it's just sad that it's always for the most part, yeah. And this, it might have been some bangers in there. Like I was just saying before we got on, they not like us. Like if I knew how to crip walk, I'd crip walk to that damn song. But I mean, but at the same time, it's a good song demeaning another one of our brothers. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I don't think it was really a winner or a loser. But if there was a winner, J. Cole. If there was a loser, it was pretty much them all. The two that was going back and forth, honestly.
Whew. I say, like you said, J. Cole was a bigger man. It was interesting because I sat and watched the video where he publicly apologized to Kendrick Lamar. And a lot of this stuff is amped up and pushed because of the entourage, the promoters, the thing. And like he said, they get in your head, oh, you could do this, let's do this, let's do this. And a lot of times this is just the raise, the status, get people involved, get people, use it as almost like clickbait to get people to listen and everything and go in and listen. I didn't listen to neither one of them. I'm gonna be straight up. I really, Drake is a good artist. I really don't like his music like that because he sounds the same on every track. He's whiny. Kendrick Lamar, he's a good artist. He's in his own category of his style and what he rap about. Both the good artists, but like you said, it's always our people beefing back and forth. Like, why? We get beat down enough, so why beat up on each other? And I respect J. Cole for going publicly and apologizing to Kendrick Lamar about that. Like you said, he decided not to jump in before even getting started. You know what I'm saying? He stepped back and pretty much was like, y'all had it. Now I am gonna say, I ain't gonna lie, I did listen to Chris Brown on Old Boy from Migos.
My God.
Now I did listen to Chris Brown, and the only reason I listened to Chris Brown because Chris Brown is an R&B artist. But when I heard Chris Brown diss track, I was like, man, this can't be Chris Brown. Let me run that back again.
Can't be.
Man, when I tell you he killed that. So, and I didn't really see it as I didn't even see it as a beef. I just saw it as like one of them hit tracks, like you do a diss track and be done with it and keep it going. You see, he only made one. He made one and done. It wasn't
that's all it took.
I don't think you come back from that anyway.
you with them punchlines, you don't need nothing else. That's a track within itself. You can bop your head to. You listen to it like it's just like a regular. Let's say you listen to like an Eazy-E or Tupac track and you just vibing to it like, oh snap, did he say that? You wouldn't even think it was a beef going on between them two. You know what I'm saying? So, but like I said, I commend them. I just think like all of it need to stop. All this checking in when you going into People City, you need to stop. Y'all don't check them white artists when they come in town. Y'all don't make them check in. We the only people that's doing this foolishness. You don't see the country people beefing. You don't see the pop people beefing.
Oh, hold on. I think it's the country people might be beefing with Beyonce right now, but that's a whole.
Oh, yeah.
See, no, they beefing with Beyonce.
Yeah.
They beefing with Beyonce, and I could commend Beyonce on what she did, because she did that to prove to them that, hey, this is where country music started. Black people. It started with the banjo, the Africans. They were making a mockery of the Africans with the banjo, and then they started using it and putting it into the country. If it wasn't for Black people, country music wouldn't even exist. And what Beyonce did, it was you saw she went to #1, right? You saw she went to #1. One country station, they was like, we don't play that type of music. Man, they went and bashed that station to the point that they had no choice but to put the song on there. And her making that album, she said it's not a country album, it's a Beyonce album. So she letting you know she wasn't making it a country album, she was making it her album. And she played a lot of homage to a lot of country artists. And look what happened. She made it where a lot of country artists were being visibly seen that weren't being seen before. She brought them up. Their views, their music went up. Their ratings went up. The black guy with the wicks, his song is #1 right now. I think it's like, what is it? I think it's like beer something in the bar, something. But it's a good song. He's a good artist. But I like the way she used that. And they could beef with her all she want. If she go to the CMAs, I'm gonna be laughing. Because how they did her before. So I hope she get to perform at the CMAs and shut them up even more, because I don't feel like why they taking ownership of like they created. Just like everything else, America was never lost. Christopher Columbus did not discover it. The Indians were here. America was never lost. About 90% of what is used in the United States was invented by Black people, and they couldn't get patents because back then you couldn't get patents. So they don't own country music. But I just think this beef with our people need to stop and come together as one. And stop all the foolery, man. It's unnecessary.
Yeah. Well, they obviously don't want that. So they obviously don't want that. I mean, it's like how we go from, Run DMC, Public Enemy.
Right.
You know what I mean? Eric B. and Rakim, I mean, obviously that's 80s. So a lot of this younger generation don't really know about that generation, but they pretty much talked about not really so much overthrowing the government, but in a nutshell, they're saying you got to fight the power. Public Enemy, fight the powers that be, right? So we went from that to now we got the beefs. Now, of course, beefs are gonna happen. That's just kind of part of life, whatever it may be, whether it's in the sports world or whether it's just in your work world. You might be the new person on the block, and the person that probably been there for a while, like, man, look at this month. Probably think they somebody, they ain't nobody, So beefs are always gonna happen. So I just, like you said, it's just sometimes they can just go overboard with it. So like I say, obviously the more notable is Pac and Big.
Yeah,
everybody know about that beef. So if you just know hip hop, and then look at where that led them. Two of our greats. Two of our greats gone. So you don't want it to get to that. You know what I mean? You don't want it to get to that. You want it to just be, if there's a beef and there's a problem, you kind of want it to be healthy. You don't want to, you don't want to go too low, even though you're going to go a little low anyway.
Right.
But, yeah, you don't want to get to the point to where, because, this new generation, they're so sensitive anyway.
Soft as tissue paper.
You know what I'm saying? Soft as baby poo. So they you can't really say nothing. You can't even look at them wrong, and they're ready to just off you. So if they could keep it in the studio, hey, I'm cool, but like I say, you just gotta watch your words, that's all. But then also, you gotta them labels. At the end of the day, they got the green light and they got the final say so on what gets played and what doesn't.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
these artists, they gotta think, you gotta use your head. So you might be out there trying to do an inspirational song, and they probably like, nah, you know what? That's not really gonna get no
Hmm.
play. Nah, but if you say this about this person, or if you say that, or you say this, yeah, that's it. That's the ticket,
Mhm.
you know? And then the next thing you know, you got a beef, and then both entourages, both posses might, you never know, because I think they said something about Drake. I don't know if he got shot at, but
Hmm.
they said
Something like,
someone maybe in his
yeah.
camp,
Mm-hmm.
someone in his
That did
camp
happen.
must have got shot or something. Now obviously we don't know if that has anything to do with Kendrick or not,
Yeah.
but um, but yeah, you don't want it to get to that, you know. And at the end of the day, this government, man, the labels, they all in on it. They all want us to kill ourselves, man. So
Of course.
but however we could do it,
Mm-hmm.
So obviously with drugs, drinking,
Hmm.
then of course with the fighting, shootings. So they want us to have that friction all the time.
Yeah.
They always want it. So anytime a person comes around and wants to try to change that, Pac was one of the first ones to, try to do this One Nation album. He was kind of doing it behind the scenes because other artists was kind of coming out and saying it, how he was trying to get the East Coast and the West Coast and everybody just kind of come together and
Hmm.
make like this album, song or whatever. But it never got a chance to, it never got a chance to do it. So, and another thing with Nipsey Hussle, the great Nipsey Hussle, God rest his soul. He was trying to stop the whole beef with the gangs in L.A.,
Yeah.
the Bloods and
Yeah.
the Crips. He
Hmm.
was getting ready to meet up with the LAPD or whatever to try to sign some kind of petition or something to try to work something out. Then he gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It
they
was
don't
like,
want it. They don't want it. They don't want it. So you gotta use your head. You gotta use your own head, use your mind, and just know what the agenda is, and what really matters, man. So
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
these beats don't mean nothing.
I
It's
got
just
one. Sorry, I got one more thing to say to piggyback off of Kenji when he said the record label's got the green light to put whatever it is
Man,
out.
you taking the words right out my mouth. Go ahead.
He Charleston White. I know y'all know who Charleston White is. He was on
I
this
know
Yeah.
Charles White.
podcast, right? So the guy was like, well, you said you don't promote violence and you don't promote talking about drugs and all this stuff like that, but your artists do. He said, listen, man. He said, I don't promote that. But if that's the type of art, if that's the type of music that my artists make and the people gravitate to it, of course I'm finna let him put
Yeah.
that out there because it's bringing me in money. It's not saying that I'm promoting it, that I agree with what he's saying. He said it's a money game, it's business. So you like you said, you have these record labels that influences this. And like J. Cole said, his entourage is what was pushing him and kind of like that, how they say that peer pressure to push, like,
Mhm.
oh man, you gonna let him say that about you or this, and this. It's that peer pressure that people face every day, especially kids. That peer pressure,
Yeah.
oh, they said this, they said that. You ain't gonna say that. I think you need to say something back. And that's when he said he realized like that right there is what was a distraction for him, and he had
Mhm.
to pull back from that type of stuff. And
Right.
same with the record, they want us to kill ourselves. You can't get mad every time a white officer kill a black person, and we playing cops around in our own neighborhood and killing and
We doing
robbing
it
our
to
own
ourselves.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what they want, and they helping us do it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They helping us do it. We're not, we can't have a business in the hood without our people trying to rob us, but they won't rob them Arabs.
Right. That's
They won't go in
And
there rob them. You know what I'm saying?
the only time
mhm.
that happened was when 9/11, and I felt bad for them people too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's you said that One Nation with Pac. I don't know if y'all guys remember. We all in the same game with
Yeah.
NWA.
Mm-hmm.
We had two of
Mhm.
those. They did two
Mhm.
different. They did two songs like that with the same game. They were trying to bring everybody together, and
Mhm.
so yeah. Pac Pac had a lot of Pac had a lot of prophecy in his music.
Mhm.
He had a lot of problems. I go back and listen to it because I got the CDs.
Yeah,
I
you
go
got
back and
CDs.
I got the CDs. So you go
Yeah.
back and listen to it. Change. He
Yeah.
said, "I see more. I see. He see more racist faces." He said,
Mhm.
"It's a shame that the government got more money to give to the military than to feed the homeless people on the street.
Feed the
Look at it
poor.
now. What?
Yeah. Yeah.
What we have? All these homeless people, all these veterans that fought for this. I told her I wouldn't fight for this country for nothing. I you know, I salute I have people that was in the service, using the service, but I told one of the elders, I said, I wouldn't dare fight for this country. What this country gonna do for me?
What?
Nothing. Nothing.
You know
What?
what I'm saying?
Boy, hey,
Like
boys in the hood.
that's
Boys in the hood. Remember that scene?
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Lawrence
it's
Fishburne. Shout out Lawrence Fishburne. Yeah. So,
yeah,
Yeah.
it's funny. It was two things. When Larry said it's the money game. And what popped in my head, I promise you, what popped in my head, the last person that told somebody it's the money game, he a bald head dude with a thick mustache. And the bald head dude with a thick mustache, he told a fellow black person, it ain't about the integrity game, it's the money game.
I know what you're talking
And
about.
so
You got it,
yeah,
Kendrick?
man, it's
no.
it's
Miss
I have to
Parker.
yeah, he was talking to me.
Steve Harvey and Monique. I'm gonna
Yeah.
say it. Steve. Hey, we
So
playing charades over here.
yeah, I was gonna tell him when we got off. But
Yeah.
it's sad that it is that. And before we got on, you had hit on a certain young lady who's taking the industry by storm. To me, can't rap a lick, but she's very, very, very popular. Um, I don't know how, but she's very, very, very popular.
Just like
Then popped up. She got a sex tape out. I just, I
Sex sells. You said sex tape, sex sells.
it
yeah,
does.
sex. I mean, and
It does.
it's sad that that's what's. Oh my God, that's what's popular. I'm talking about. It was a boy yesterday said, get it sexy," and I'm just like, really, boy, what?
It
Like
depends.
y'all don't know what rap
Oh,
is. Y'all do not know what rap is. It's like, and back when I'm sorry, I gotta close this out, but
Mhm.
back when Killer Mike won won the awards, won his what it was, a Grammy? What Killer Mike won? I'm
I think
sorry.
it was Grammys, yeah.
Okay, yeah, he won. There was a dude on social media saying, "Man, I didn't even know who." Well, I'm sorry, a bunch of people didn't know who Killer Mike was. Shame on y'all. One of my favorite rappers, aside from Three Stacks and Toby. I dare not pronounce his last name because I don't want to mess it up. Old dude out of Texas, y'all know who I'm talking about. He said that, man, I went and listened to a couple of songs that y'all that people had suggested to him. Sorry, that people suggested to him. He was like, man, I guess he's still not my cup of tea. You know, y'all like music that tells stories. If it's a bop, if it's just something, he just got some old Dr. Seuss type words to it, and it's a good beat to it. I listen to that all day. And it's just like, man, y'all dumb. Killer Mike. Y'all like, why do you not
Oh,
want
God.
somebody to listen to something influential? Why do you not want something with some sustenance to it? It's like, as somebody in the comments was like, so you just basically, you don't want books with words, you want coloring books.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Pretty much.
So, and then, God dog it, I lost the other point because that point took me so long. But it's just like, man, I just don't get, why is it always about the money? I get it. We haven't had money for so long. I would like to have more, but Bishop CeeLo Green, I kind of like being poor. At least I know what my friends here for.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Come
Like,
on.
come on, bro.
Come on.
I just and it's real crazy. Hey, but like I said, we can go all night, man. But hey, we definitely got to do this again. I think this one flowed really, really well.
Yeah.
I love both of y'all, man. And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Me
Again,
too.
peace of mind. Tell them where they can find you.
You can find me on YouTube, Peace of Mind. You can find me on Instagram, Peace of Mind _Vibe LA, and TikTok Vibe _LA.
So we're gonna sign out. Peace and love.
Peace.